What's up, Wall fans, Common Sense's social media world? Welcome to the live stream for yet another Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall, featuring me, your favorite podcast host, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. And before we get into the actual episode, I just want to bring up a couple things specifically on the live stream. We've gotten some feedback, and a lot of people... So here's the thing with the Facebook live stream. You're not getting the best quality audio here, and if you watch the live stream from last Common Sense Sunday, the audio is actually off. It's funky. We do the Facebook live stuff to kind of get a little more exposure and also put it out there for people that like to watch things. And also, of course, usually this is where we have interaction with our on-air producers, Bridget and Chris. So that being said, if you love watching the videos, please watch the videos. I'm a bit of a narcissist. I don't mind you looking at my lovely face all the time. However, to get the best quality audio, the actual decent audio without little shakiness on the Facebook video and everything else, you're going to want to download the actual podcast. You're going to be able to find it anywhere. We host on Podomatic, which I'm probably going to mention again during the actual episode. But you can get it anywhere you get your podcast, with the only exception being SoundCloud. We are not on SoundCloud. So please, please, please actually subscribe. That's going to get you the best audio experience. You're going to get the full, I'm going to be narcissistic, full richness of my voice through there. This is just kind of an extra fun thing that we do. These get thrown up on YouTube and all that good stuff. So again, please, please, please make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends so we can help get those subscription numbers up. And of course, so that you are getting the best quality audio when it comes to Go Tell It to the Wall or Common Sense Sundays, really, or any of those things that go along with the Go Tell It to the Wall family. So, that being said, it is Sunday. We've got a great Common Sense Sunday episode for you, so let's get into it. We're also going to work on getting the theme music on the actual live video, which is something we were doing, and then we had some technical issues, and so you don't actually get it. So those of you that don't listen, again, you're going to get the theme music on the actual podcast, and you might be wondering why I'm kind of like bopping around a little bit at the beginning. It's because there's a nice fancy theme song that goes along with Go Tell It to the Wall. All right, here we go. All right, Wall fans, Common Sensors podcast consumers, welcome to episode 3 of Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall, and of course me, your absolute favorite podcast host, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. We are still moving forward with these Common Sense Sundays episodes. We've had some good reception as far as downloads and views and listens and everything. And so we're going to keep it going, and I'm sure this is partly because a lot of people are stuck at home and they're itching for content. But of course, we will take anything we can get as far as exposure for Common Sense Sundays and Go Tell It to the Wall. So welcome to episode 3. As I said, I'm your host, Sean O'Rourke, and we always kick things off with some social plugs. That's right, you can keep up with Go Tell It to the Wall during episodes, for episodes, after episodes, whenever you so please, and you can do that on multiple platforms. One of those would be Facebook, where we are currently live right now, facebook.com/Go Tell It to the Wall. That's right, like our page, check back often for updates. That's going to keep you updated on all kinds of great stuff. Not only episode-wise, but we have started posting more of the stuff that gets mentioned on podcast episodes so that you can actually follow through. Specifically, lately it's been, masks that we all have to wear, so we're getting a lot of that stuff up on the Facebook page as well. So make sure you like our page and stay up to date on everything that is Go Tell It to the Wall. Of course, our YouTube channel, head over to YouTube, search Go Tell It to the Wall, subscribe to our channel. You're going to find video of all the live feeds that we do for Go Tell It to the Wall, as well as Common Sense Sundays, and of course clips from specific episodes, as well as our beer reviews, mental health playlist, parenting playlist, all that good stuff you're going to find on there. And I want to mention, I was mentioning this to the live feed before we actually kicked off the episode. Make sure you are subscribing. If you're listening as audio, there's a good chance you're subscribed anyway. And if you're already subscribed, tell your friends. But if you're not subscribed and you just randomly found this, please subscribe via your favorite podcast platform. We host on Podomatic, so you can find Go Tell It to the Wall and Common Sense Sundays there, but you can pretty much find us on any podcast platform out there. I find us on new podcast platforms like almost every other week. So wherever you like to listen to podcasts, do it there. In fact, Google is launching a new podcast portal. So if you listen on Google Play, that's going to be kind of ported over to Google Podcasts soon. So keep that in mind as well. But please subscribe. Tell your friends so that we can spread the Common Sense Sundays as much as possible. And like I said, make sure you're also subscribed to our YouTube channel. You can also follow my personal Instagram account, which is at SoCalSean. That's right, at SoCalSean. You're not getting a ton of Go Tell It to the Wall content up there, but you are going to stay up to date with certain things that we talk about on episodes of the podcast. And of course, cute pictures of my kid here at home. Pretty much only at home right now because we're stuck at home. Usually pictures of my kid out in the world as well, but not so much right now. And of course, our website, SeanWillWorkLive.com. That's going to keep you up to date on every single thing we do, and also you will find links to all those platforms I just mentioned right there on SeanWillWorkLive.com, including our Patreon campaign. Please help us out financially if you see fit to do so, and you have the means to do so. That Patreon is a fantastic way to support the podcast. And even if you're not going to support Go Tell It to the Wall, Common Sense Sundays, myself, Sean Will Work, you will find artists that you love on there, whether it's musicians, like actual artists painting stuff, comic book artists, whatever it might be. Support, especially in this crazy time. If you're someone that still has the means to do it, please support everyone out there that you can. All right, let's see where we are here. Oh, a couple updates. New content coming. There's new videos coming this week, and also some new content through Some Things Not Right Studios. So keep an eye out for all of that stuff, and we're going to tease a little bit of it as we get through things here. But keep in mind that stuff's coming up on YouTube this week. New videos hitting the YouTube all this week, including Mental Health Mondays. So all that stuff is finally hitting it, and make sure you're also subscribed to Something's Not Right Studios, because we're doing some great collaborative things with Something's Not Right Studios, including our punk rock recommendations of the week, which some new ones should be hitting that channel over the next week or so. No promises on when they're going to hit, but new content is going to be out there. It's a matter of when Something's Not Right can actually schedule the videos to go up and everything, so keep that in mind. All right, digital trends. I'm telling you, oh man. I used to have fun with Go Tell It to the Wall and kind of what was trending on the social platforms. Lately, it's not so great. And I just want to talk about a couple things. There's one great thing that's been happening, but I want to talk about a couple things. And stop listening to the non-experts. Here's the thing. We've always known that you should fact-check things when it comes to social platforms. But we're seeing it's just ramped up so much over the past couple months because of COVID and because of the quarantine and the stay-at-home orders and everything else and the back and forth that's going on here. And I think the most important thing is listen to a doctor. Listen to an expert. Listen to leadership. Don't listen to your neighbor next door who thinks they suddenly became a medical expert. And I know everyone knows this, but I need to take the time to say it because it's so rampant right now. It's more rampant than it's ever been because of the environment that we are currently in, really around the world. Depending where you are around the world, it could be worse than others. See, I'm in Los Angeles in California. It's a large city. It's crazy here. I'm doing my best to keep away from others. And that's me personally. I actually know people personally that have gone out and socialized already. That is your choice. But regardless of what you're going to do, make sure that you're educated from actual doctors and from leadership, not from your neighbor Bubba, who likes to sit out on his porch, with a shotgun and overalls with no shirt. I know I'm stereotyping. I'm going to here comes the hate emails. Every time I do that, I say make any joke about the South, and hate emails come through SeanWillWorkLive.com. I don't know why. I can sit here and bash on California despite the fact that I love California, and nobody's going to send me any kind of hate mail. It just doesn't happen that way. And there's been so many videos of people partying. I'm seeing this crazy, especially this weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, so everyone feels this need to go out, and socialize and be at the beach and stuff. And like I've said from the beginning, on this podcast to friends, on social platforms, the beach is still going to be there. The beach is still going to be there. Hey, Chris. We got Chris hopefully on the live stream. I see him trying to jump on. The beach is still going to be there. All these things are still going to be there. You don't need to go out and party and be in the sun just because some calendar, the calendar says it's Memorial Day. Oh man, we got to go out and enjoy this 3 day. But no, give it some time. Give it some time. I saw a video from Ocean City, Maryland, the boardwalk there. Shoulder to shoulder people. No masks, shoulder to shoulder. And there was some, I think it was like Missouri or somewhere. They're having all these crazy like beach parties and you could just see people dancing in a pool and it was just like, holy shit, man. These are the extremes. And I said this to my wife the other day, and we'll get into a little bit more of that with the COVID updates. I feel I would like to be in the middle and not quite as extreme. The problem for me is we have people being that extreme on one end, so I'm keeping my family completely inside. That's what it is. I'm not seeing friends right now, and I have friends that are doing the same thing. I could probably be safe and go to a certain friend's house or have them over here because they're literally doing the same thing, not seeing anybody, with the exception of their family. So that's possible, but I'm not even going to attempt that. Because it's so extreme on one end that I've got to be extreme on the other end. And that's just me personally. I'm not telling you what to do. I will tell you to be smart. And I will tell you to have compassion for others. Because we're going to talk a little bit about that when it comes to mental health. And one other thing that came up recently, and this blows my mind. My friend Riley actually had posted about this. And she had said, and I'm not going to word it correctly. I always do this. I paraphrase and I'm like, somebody said this so well, and then I tried saying, I'm like, nah, that's not how it came out. But essentially saying, the Orange Menace could have created Make America Great Again masks, more like Trump 2020 masks, and people would have bought them and worn them. He would have made money. It would have helped his campaign. But because he is so divisive here, he couldn't even do that. We wouldn't have this debate about masks if we had all of our leadership just sitting back and saying, hey, wear a mask. And then making cool masks. I was showing cool masks on the last episode of Common Sense Sundays. Got all kinds of cool masks. I've got that custom Go Tell It to the Wall mask sitting right there on my table over here. Why not? Why not? It's not that big of a deal. But it's so divisive. That's where we are. It's not manly to wear a mask. Like, seriously? It's not manly to wear a mask. And also, don't believe the stuff that's going around that, there is like one exception medically that does make it so someone can't wear a mask. And we're talking about such a small percentage of people that Karen that was at the Whole Foods down there in Dana Point here in California. Yeah, you're fine, lady. Wear the mask. Go do your shopping. Call it a day. And even when they try to, it's amazing to me. Like, is it that big of a fucking deal? My 3-year-old wears a mask. 3 years. 3 years old. She has no problem wearing a mask. Get over it. Get over it. And I will say, there's been a cannabis study. So for those of you that have been concerned about me possibly picking up the COVID, I think I might be invincible. There's currently a cannabis study going on in Canada, and they're finding that cannabis usage, specifically CBD, and I'm not going to get into, look this up if you'd like some more information. Maybe we'll share it to the Go Tell It to the Wall Facebook page. They've been doing some studies and found that cannabis can actually block COVID from infecting your body. Can actually block it. And this kind of makes sense in my house, and I don't know that I've talked about it on the podcast. I am being cautious as heck. My family is not leaving the property. I mean, my 3-year-old and my wife went for a walk around the block a little bit, socially distanced, mask, didn't get near anybody, not even within 6 feet, close to 6 feet of people. So that's happening. But I'm also fairly certain that my household had it at the end of January. My wife was traveling to China frequently. In fact, she traveled to China in January. My wife and daughter both got not crazy sick, but they got this crazy cough that didn't go away for a few weeks. And it was just nuts. And I had a bit of a cough, but not near as much. And I kind of chalked it up to, well, I'm a smoker, so it's kind of hard to tell, if I've got a cough. But then I'm seeing these things, and it's like, well, that makes sense. So who knows? Of course, like I said, I'm eager to get the antibody test myself and see if I did have it. But I'm not putting it past this COVID disease to try and infect me again. So I'm taking no chances whatsoever. I don't think anyone should be taking these chances. But again, that is your own choice. That is your own choice. Just think of others. Think of kids. Think of people that are older than you. And think of people that have mental illness and the toll that this can be taking out on them, which I'm going to talk about shortly. As far as COVID updates, the arguing has to stop. And here's the thing. No one's going to be convinced otherwise at this point. We're a couple months into this. You're not going to convince someone that wants to go out without a mask, that wants to go out and party and do all these things. You're not going to convince them to do otherwise. You're simply not. And in fact, in the punk rock community, there was a concert going on in the IE last night. I'm not going to name the bands just in case something happened and they weren't supposed to be doing that, but put on a concert out there in the IE. I'm itching for a concert. We're going to talk about that when we get to entertainment. I'm itching for it. But I wasn't about to do that. Not a chance. Not a chance. So just stop the arguing. Let it go and just protect yourself and your own family. That's all you can do at this point. Because we are nowhere near the end of this. Nowhere near. And this is going to be stretching on for a while. So save your energy. Save your energy. And the most important thing is just respect each other. Just respect each other. Don't get on someone that's being extra safe because they are worried. And here's the thing for me is I don't respect the people that want to go to the beach, that want to go camping, that want to go, socialize, want to go to a bar and have a drink. I don't sympathize. However, I do sympathize for people that want to get back to work because they need to feed their family. So let's respect each other there. Absolutely. And for the love of God, show respect to your fucking healthcare workers. I can't stand. That's the one that really gets to me. It's when people are getting in the faces of healthcare workers, calling it a hoax and all this other stuff. That needs to absolutely stop. And one exception here, and along the lines of going to the beach and going camping and all this other stuff and going to a bar and having a drink, the church is opening. We had the Orange Menace just announce that the churches are essential businesses and should open. If you've listened to Go Tell It to the Wall or followed Go Tell It to the Wall, I have no problem with religion. None whatsoever. I think it's fine as long as you are not using your values to push down someone else's rights. I have no problem. No problem. However, I'm going to say it right now, and this is 1,000% true. 1,000%. If your God says that you need to go into a building with a bunch of people to worship them, to celebrate them, whatever your religion might be, you need to find another God. Find another one. Trust me. 13 years of Catholic school. 13 years. Teenage Sean would have had a field day with this. I got into debates in my religion classes in high school talking about why is this building so important? Why? And the bottom line is, you know why the building's so important? You know why they want to pack those buildings? So that they can take your money. They're very capable of live broadcasting a service. All these things can happen. They want to take your money. Be spiritual, be religious, but understand no fucking building is important to your spirituality. You can find it important, but it's not more important than your health. That's what I should say. So find another God. There's a lot of them out there. Make up your own. Hey, start a new religion. All right, mental health. It really all does come down to respecting others. But I want to use this example. Here's the thing. When it comes to mental health, we need to consider people that have mental illness and the toll that this can be taking on them. I've said from the beginning, check on your friends and relatives that have mental illness problems, have mental health problems, have anxiety, have depression, whatever it might be. Check on those people. But I want to point out how it can be for somebody that has a serious, debilitating mental illness like myself. And I talked about these people that want to go to a bar, they want to go to the beach, they want to go camping, they want to go to church. Because that's what makes them feel good. Well, here's the thing. For a lot of people with mental illness, myself included, debilitating obsessive compulsive disorder, I wake up on a daily basis not worried that I can't go to a bar, not worried that I can't go to the beach. I don't like not seeing my friends, but I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the safety of my family. What I'm worried about is somebody in my family dying and being gone. And that is the difference. That is the absolute difference when it comes to a mental illness and mental health problems versus these people that want to get their fucking nails done. Are your nails really that important right now? And again, feel the way you want to feel. I'm not here to tell people how to feel and tell people what should be important to them. What I am going to tell you is you should consider the feelings of others. You're worried that your hair is getting long. Other people are worried they're going to die. What's more important? Can you wait a few months to get a haircut? Yeah. Yeah. But some people are having trouble getting out of bed because they're worried about death right now. And of course, we don't need to nobody needs to pander to me or others that are like myself. But consider these things and respect one another. And remember, it's absolutely okay to ask for help. It is still Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's okay to ask for help. Reach out. Reach out to your friends or family. And even if you don't want to talk to your friends or family, there are plenty of hotlines. There are plenty of resources out there that aren't even going to cost you money. Talk to somebody. It will help. I promise you. And take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's okay to feel that way right now. It's okay. And self-care is extremely important right now. It's okay to spend an entire afternoon watching Netflix if that's going to help your mental state right now. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't beat yourself up if you don't come out of quarantine, with a new skill, like you've learned to play a new instrument or you've built an addition on your house. Don't feel bad about those things. Everyone handles this differently. And what's important is taking care of yourself and taking care of your family. So do that. Prioritize that. Especially when it comes to your mental health. Because things will start to fall into place at that point. They will. Keep that in mind. All right, I want to talk about a couple entertainment things. Man. I want to get through this and then we're going to talk some music. Because I'm literally supposed to be in Las Vegas right now. Literally. I should be in Las Vegas right now. I should have been in Vegas as of Friday. We're going to talk about that. But one thing I want to talk about before then, ABC Networks announced their renewals of television shows for next season. And unfortunately, possibly my favorite show on television right now did not get renewed for next season, and that would be Single Parents. If you have not seen this show, check it out. And I need to caveat this and be honest with everyone, I am a little bit biased. One of my very good friends is an editor on the show. I always enjoy watching the credits after, especially because I'm a big sitcom fan. I love sitcoms. I'm rewatching Community right now. I've seen it, rewatching it. I enjoy sitcoms. I don't like to think too much and get into in-depth mysteries or whatever. I mean, sometimes I do, but for the most part, no. I like sitcoms. I always enjoy seeing my friends' names in the credits at the end of sitcoms. But even beyond that, I think without having a friend who was an editor on the show, I would still be incredibly upset that this show is being canceled because it is a fantastic cast. It's fantastic writing. It's funny as hell, Single Parents. If you haven't seen it, watch the damn show. But the most frustrating thing, and this happens with networks a lot of times, ABC actually renewed The Goldbergs, which jumped the shark a couple seasons ago. I don't even understand why this show's still on television. It was a great show when it came out. Fantastic show. Jumped the shark a couple seasons ago, and that thing got renewed. But no Single Parents. So, if you're so inclined, there are petitions going around and stuff. I don't usually love signing this petition for shows. Sometimes I do. I will probably get around to signing this one. To save single parents. There's also the hashtag going around, hashtag save single parents. And I'm hoping that something is done where single parents will be back next season. Because it is possibly my favorite sitcom on television right now. Currently, a network sitcom on television. And I hope to see it come back. We'll see what happens. ABC gets a little crazy. All right. Oh, man. Punk rock bowling. That's right. For those of you that are in the punk rock scene, the ska scene, this weekend was actually supposed to be punk rock bowling in Las Vegas. I should be in Las Vegas right now having a crappy Pabst Blue Ribbon surrounded by a bunch of people with funky colored hair and mohawks and spikes and piercings and tattoos and patches all over their jacket. But unfortunately, COVID canceled that. Actually, it's funny. Technically postponed it to next year, but but it essentially got canceled because they postponed it to the same timing next year. So it would have been Punk Rock Bowling 2021 anyway. But I guess they're kind of leaning on this postponement thing. The cool thing, though, I will say, they've been doing streaming all weekend. So check out the Punk Rock Bowling Music Festival Facebook page. And I believe if you're watching the live stream right now, don't leave my live stream, but we'll be done in like 10 minutes here. And then go check out that live stream. You're gonna catch some artists that were supposed to be playing punk rock bowling. And this goes along the lines of what a lot of artists have been doing. Goldfinger put out a new track this morning. All the feels from that one. Good Lord, all the feels from that one. Make sure you check that out. MXPX still doing their Friday things. Green Day still doing their Monday things. Barstool Preachers they were actually live this morning. It's so hard to because they post the England time, and I always go to look it up, and I swear to God, even with Googling the time difference, I still manage to mix up the times. I don't know why, but had the privilege of seeing TJ from the Barstool Preachers on a couple of live streams today. So make sure you're checking that one out. And in fact, if you caught TJ today or yesterday, he was on the Viva La Rock streaming thing. He actually premiered a new song, Lighthouse Keeper, by the Barstool Preachers. That is going to be on their new album, most likely coming out next year. Everyone's in this kind of limbo as far as recording and stuff. So most likely coming out next year. But fantastic track from Barstool Preachers. And TJ doesn't give himself enough credit. I know he's a simple guitar player, but he does it very well, and I don't think he gives himself enough credit for his guitar playing abilities. And obviously we know his vocal abilities are above and beyond a lot of people out there in the scene. So really looking forward to one day seeing them live again. In fact, should have been seeing them yesterday at Punk Rock Bowling, and they are officially canceled, but I was ticketed to 2 shows this week, Thursday and Friday. I was supposed to see the Barstool Preachers back-to-back here in Los Angeles. Actually, Long Beach and Hollywood, but the Los Angeles area. And unfortunately, those have been canceled. Understandably so. But those, of course, have been canceled. And speaking of cancellations, we did get the official word. We knew this was coming. Hella Mega Tour has officially been postponed here. I believe in all of North America, but definitely in California and Los Angeles. So this is going to be a whole year of me talking about the Hella Mega Tour and all the crazy things that are going to happen along with that, because it's going to be basically a year from July, over a year. We got to wait on this. Bought a bunch of tickets to this thing in September, and I was like, this is crazy. This thing's months off. Now it's an extra year off from that. So unfortunately, Hella Mega still going to be there, but Hella Mega Tour not happening in 2020, obviously. But more on the streaming front. This one is extremely important for everyone out there. I'm actually wearing, for those of you that are not viewing photos of this particular episode of the live stream, I'm actually wearing my Dropkick Murphys Streaming Up from Boston shirt. This was the special shirt that they made from their St. Patrick's Day event that they had on March 17th, where they did a complete live stream with their whole band except their pipes player, who just happened to be in Florida at the time and couldn't get up to Boston to play with them. They are actually going to be streaming this Friday, May 30th. And not only are they streaming live with the entire band and entire electric set, but they are streaming live from Fenway Park in Boston. That is where the Boston Red Sox play their baseball games. So they will be streaming live from Fenway with their entire band. I'm not sure that the pipes player got up from Florida, but most likely their entire band. I am so looking forward to this one. And for those of you that are not super into punk rock, punk ska, that kind of stuff, they are actually included in this live performance is the boss, Bruce Springsteen. So a little something for everybody there. Happening Friday, May 30th. It's going to be free online. Check it out. I don't have the exact time. I want to say it was 6 p.m. East Coast time. So it would be 3 p.m. here in California. But I'm not 100. Don't quote me on the exact time. But I am positive on the date. It's Friday, May 30th. Really looking forward to watching some Dropkick Murphys streaming from Fenway there in Boston. Definitely pick up some merch. They made special edition shirts. I'm like I said, I'm wearing my Streaming Up from Boston from St. Patty's Day. In the next day or so, I'll be ordering one of these Streaming from Fenway shirts. Just my quarantine T-shirt collection is getting out of hand. I'm still waiting for my Barstool Preacher stuff. TJ assured me that it's on the way, but it takes forever because it's coming from across the pond there. But yeah, I'm just stocking up that quarantine T-shirt collection from bands and streaming stuff and everything that's happening. But Dropkick Murphys, we'll be talking about that probably a little more between now and Friday. And probably talk a little bit about it on Punk Rock Suggestions of the Week. So as long as something's not right, studios can get that up this week. Hopefully you'll get a little more Dropkick Murphys or DKM info in your ear holes, in your eye holes, however you consume the things. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's Sunday. I'm tired. I've been stuck in this house for so long. Man. All right, I want to talk one more thing, and then we are going to finish up for this edition of Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell to the Wall. A little bit of parenting. I think this is important. This is hard on everybody this quarantine thing, but especially hard on parents. And most parents I know are handling it fantastically, but there are challenges. And I bring this up because I think this is a time, just like I've said, call your family and your friends that have mental illness, check on them. And in this case, I'm not saying necessarily check on parents and call them and be like, hey, are you doing okay, stuck there with your kid? But if you are a parent, make sure that you're reaching out to your friends that are parents, or even in groups. Like I belong to a group on Facebook called Punk Rock Dads. We talk a lot of punk rock music, but we also talk parenting, being a dad. And it's funny stuff, but it's also serious topics come up. So find your group, find your tribe, find your friends, and lean on them. Because here's the thing, it is difficult for everyone, and we're all going to get through this, but it does help when you maybe your kid is regressing on something, maybe your kid is just losing their mind, and it doesn't necessarily make it better, but when you talk to another parent and know that they are also going through this, it does help a little bit. Because you're not the only one. This is kind of the new normal for a little while. I know it's tough for a lot of people that are having to homeschool. Fortunately, I don't have to homeschool. I mean, we do the usual. My kid is 3, so so we do a lot of counting and alphabet and ABCs and that kind of stuff. But there's not an actual class setting that I have to have her in. So these are all challenges that parents are dealing with. So know that there are resources out there. Much in the lines of mental health, there are parenting resources out there. There's groups. There's friends. Just shout it into the universe. Go on Twitter. Shout it into the universe. Somebody's going to be able to relate and either give you tips or just say, hey, that's okay. It's okay that your kid's watching a little extra TV. That's fine. We're in a weird time right now. We are. And lately, for even my 3-year-old, she's handling it like a champ. But every day or so, she wakes up in the morning and says, oh, are my friends going to come today? Especially now that the weather is hot and I've got a pool set up for. Usually on the weekends, when the weather starts getting warm like this, we have friends over that have kids, and the kids jump in the pool, and we all sit around the pool and talk and watch the kids and play with the kids. So my 3-year-old is kind of missing that. But there's ways to keep them entertained, and just reassure them that it is going to go, maybe not back to normal, but it is going to get to the new normal. We will hit that point. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And we're like 2 months into this. And that's the thing. For me personally, it feels like 2 months, but it doesn't. Oh, we're already 2 months into this. I'm quite comfortable at home myself. And I know this is tougher for a lot of people, but it just, we all have to get through this. And we're all going to get through it. And eventually things are going to be better. Hopefully people learn from this. Hopefully leadership learns from this. Hopefully, just in general, people learn from this. When it comes to voting, when it comes to what they support, hopefully that happens. I would like to see more of that, please. Absolutely. But one day we will get back to normal. One day I will be in the pit, skanking in the pit at a punk rock show again. One day you'll be able to take your kids to the park. One day you'll be able to go to the beach, no problem, not have to worry about it. One day you'll be able to find toilet paper at the store. It's all going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And take that time to be constructive about what you do. Or take that time to binge watch a Netflix show. But it's your time. And you can choose to complain about things, or you can choose to get through it. I'm choosing to get through it, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, that is going to do it for this episode of Common Sense Sundays. As always, thank you for joining. Thank you for downloading. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you subscribe, share, listen, rate. Tell me how terrible it is. All those things are fine. You can literally send me emails through SeanO'RourkeLive.com. And you can also send messages through Facebook.com/Go Tell It to the Wall. So, let me know how terrible things are. Let me know how great it is. And if you need someone to lean on, I don't care who you are. You're out there in Montana, you got no one around you. You're 22 and you don't know what to do with yourself. Drop me a line. Do it right there on Facebook or SeanO'RourkeLive.com. And of course, you can also follow my Instagram account, which is @SoCalSean. All kinds of cool stuff up on there. And make sure, if you have the means to do so and see fit, support our Patreon campaign. Become a patron. Extremely important. And even if you're not supporting us, make sure you support all other artists that you love. As I said, this has been Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall, episode 3. I am, of course, your absolute favorite podcast host, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. We'll be back next week. Same Common Sense place, same Common Sense time. And remember, Wall fans, Common Sensors podcast consumers, no matter what you do, no matter who you're with, no matter where you go, and no matter why you are doing it, always, always use common sense. All right, Wall fans, Common Sensors, social media world, thank you for joining episode 3 of Common Sense Sundays. Make sure you're subscribed. Remember, you're not getting the full audio experience on here. You're going to get that if you're subscribed on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Podomatic, Pod Stitcher. There's so many, I can't even keep up with them. Spotify, we do a lot of numbers on Spotify, and if you're someone that uses Spotify, that's one of your best bets, because that's going to keep everything kind of organized, with your music. Personally, I use Google Play for my podcast, because that's where I keep my music. It's just all kind of right there. But whichever one you choose to use, we're going to be on it. We're pretty much just not on SoundCloud. Thank you, everyone, for supporting. Like I said, we'll be back next week. Same place, same time. And remember, if you've got any complaints, go tell them to a wall.